Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. A tough morning for Alison McGovern. Susanna Reid grills Labour MP on benefits. It was a fiery morning on ITV's Good Morning Britain as host Susanna Reid and co-presenter Richard Madeley took on Labour MP Alison McGovern, grilling her about potential cuts to disability benefits and the government's handling of the benefits system. The interview began innocuously enough with McGovern, the Employment Minister, appearing on the show to discuss the government's approach to welfare and benefits, a topic that has been at the forefront of national concerns. Disability benefits, particularly personal independence payments, are an issue that affects millions of people in the UK, and with ongoing discussions about potential cuts, Susanna wasted no time diving straight into the controversial issue. People with disabilities are terrified that the government is going to take money away from them, Susanna began, cutting to the heart of the matter. McGovern responded by assuring viewers that she understood the concerns, emphasising her belief that disabled people should have the right to work and the right to dignity and respect. But the reassurance wasn't enough for Susanna, who wasn't about to let her guest sidestep the tough questions. Are you going to reassess PIP payments for people? Susanna asked bluntly, determined to get a straight answer. But McGovern's response didn't answer the question directly. Instead, she spoke about the government's efforts to help people move into work, touching on policies meant to encourage employment among disabled individuals. Susanna pressed on, interrupting again with the same question. Are you reassessing their PIP payments? McGovern, perhaps sensing the mounting pressure, continued to avoid the direct answer, focusing instead on the need for reform in the benefits system. She explained that the current system doesn't work for anybody and called for changes, particularly with regard to the work capability assessments that many claim are failing disabled people. Susanna wasn't letting her off the hook, though. She repeated the question a third time, demanding an answer. Are you going to reassess PIP payments? Her insistence left McGovern no choice but to continue deflecting. But it was clear that Susanna's patience was running thin. At that point, Richard Madeley, typically known for his sharp questioning, decided to join in. Are you going to cut them? He asked, a blunt follow-up to the earlier inquiries. McGovern responded by reiterating that the government's goal was to change the system with input from disabled people. She talked about a green paper that would outline the government's proposals, but once again she failed to provide any concrete answers regarding cuts to PIP. This exchange was not the first time McGovern had been put under pressure that morning. She had been grilled by Kay Burley over the Southport stabbings, particularly regarding the government's handling of the incident and whether it should have been treated as terrorism. Burley had questioned why the government had not made the terrorism link clear, given that it was known the suspect had been charged with possessing ricin and a terror manual. McGovern's insistence that Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, didn't want to do anything to jeopardise a trial failed to convince Burley, who pointed out the details had already been released months before the trial. In both interviews, McGovern seemed to struggle with providing clear, direct answers to difficult questions. On Good Morning Britain, it was evident that the public wanted transparency on disability benefits, but the Labour MP was not forthcoming. While she spoke of consultations, reforms, and a future Green Paper, it seemed as though the government had yet to offer any clear answers on whether cuts were coming to crucial financial support for disabled people. Susanna Reid's persistence in holding McGovern to account was widely praised. The ITV host's ability to stay focused and demand clarity on such an important issue was seen as a victory for transparency. She didn't let McGovern avoid the hard questions and kept returning to the core issue. Will PIP payments be reassessed, and if so, will they be cut? By the end of the interview, viewers were left with more questions than answers. McGovern's refusal to give a straight response only deepened the uncertainty surrounding the future of disability benefits, leaving many wondering whether the government truly understood the impact of its decisions on vulnerable people across the country. In a time when public trust in politicians and their promises is at a low, interviews like these highlight the need for accountability and transparency. Susanna Reid may have forced the Labour MP to pause and reconsider her evasions, but it remains to be seen whether the government will offer the clarity that millions of disabled people urgently need.